Kochie's Business Builders is proudly supported by our partners who are putting small business first.
This week on Kochie's Business Builders, a waterproofing business scaling new heights, a sustainable guitar manufacturer picks the right advice, and how to scale up your business with success. Hello and welcome to our special series of Kochie's Business Builders, where we're putting small business first. This week, we're talking about scaling up with success because despite continuous efforts by businesses nationwide, very few actually scale into industry-dominating organisations. But given so many Aussie businesses have pivoted, adapted, thrived and survived during this global pandemic, I reckon we're all now in the right frame of mind. And after watching today's show, you will be better equipped to scale up your business. To show us how it can be done, let's meet our first business owner that's doing just that.
My name is Daniel Carowana and I'm the CEO of Danray Group. So Danray Group is a family-owned and operated company. It comes from the names of both myself and my sister, so Daniel and Renee. It was founded by my parents, and what we do is actually we're a waterproofing solutions provider. So what that means is we repair water leaks to existing buildings, and our core business is actually flat roof waterproofing. The typical types of clients that we deal with exist in four main industries: in the strata, commercial, government and civil areas. They mainly have existing leaks into their structures, and the types of people that we deal with are your consultants and engineers, strata managers and property managers. We market our services through a number of mediums. One of the main ones is through our website. We do a lot of social media marketing as well. We've been fortunate enough to work on large-scale projects. We've done a lot of hospitals through southwestern Sydney, and we've done some great projects such as IKEA and the Kinghorn Cancer Centre. I feel I've got a purpose about empowering others. I just love seeing the growth people have in our company, and some of the customers that we work for really love our customer service, and I'm just proud to be able to offer that type of service to them.
What a great example of a business that keeps going from strength to strength. To share the story of his small business success, Daniel Carowana joins me now in the studio. Daniel, welcome to the show.
Thanks, David.
When did you realise the time was right to scale the business and expand?
It was probably about 3 years ago. We noticed that the remediation industry was growing quite rapidly, with properties leaking and having property damage because of rain and water. So we realised that we really needed to put in a good structure in place to really manage the growth.
Was that the first thing you did to start the process? Was it about the structure?
Well, the first thing we actually did was pick up a book called Scaling Up, and then we actually got a coach involved. We know our game, however, we don't really know how to grow businesses.
Why did you want to scale?
To become a world-class business. In the industry that we're involved in, with remediating roofs, waterproofing roofs, we found that we could create something really big. My end goal really is to create a business that creates a future for our people and really share in the wealth.
Takes a lot of guts. How did you get outside your comfort zone?
I really needed that coach to really take our thinking in the leadership team out of that day-to-day running of the business and take an objective view and really develop a strategy for growth.
How's the process going, and is it going to plan?
It's going well, considering the environment at the moment. We're really implementing strategy quite well. So we're actually looking after some of the largest roofs in Sydney now.
Did COVID interrupt at all? Did it give you a bit of a setback or a rethink?
I think if you've got some clear end goal, the things that happen in between don't affect you as much, and then you can keep revisiting your strategy. So that's the idea of scaling up. You keep revisiting the strategy quite regularly.
Daniel Carowana, a great story. Thank you for sharing it with us.
Thanks,
some great advice for us all there, I reckon. After the break, framework fundamentals, the theory behind small business growth. But first, let's see what's on offer this week on the Small Business First directory.
I'm Jocelyn Erickson, one of the co-founders and operators of Hop On Brewery Tours. Our focus is beer education and appreciation, and we get our guests out behind the local beer scene here on the Gold Coast and in Brisbane. We look forward to having you join us on board one of these days for a great day out. Thanks.
Hi there, Sonia Fulotto, CEO of ACS Debt Collection. We are the award-winning all-female team of debt collectors in Sydney, Australia. We have a range of packages that we can offer companies out there. Even in these uncertain times, we are making things happen. We are collecting accounts and we do it so well. Love to collaborate with you. Thank you so much. Talk soon. Bye.
Don't forget to head to the Small Business First website to join thousands of others who have already listed on our directory for free. Now, this week, we're talking about how to scale your business with success. And joining me now via Zoom is internationally recognised award-winning scale-up coach, Anna Samios. Anna, thanks for joining us. Look, what's the first step any business needs to take when thinking about scaling up?
Thanks, David. First thing people have to really consider when they're scaling up a company is that they need to build around them a great team of A players. They need to bring around them the best people they can afford to build up a great company so they can move it forward.
It takes a different sort of thinking process, doesn't it? A different culture to actually think about scaling and expanding.
Yeah, you very much need a team of people around you who've got a real growth mindset. They have to really want it. They have to want to be better and greater and live their higher purpose.
Is there anything businesses should be cautious about during the scaling up process?
You have to really understand your cash flow, and you need a good cash flow forecast developed for you. And you can get great help from your accountant and from a bookkeeper, just on simple Excel actually, where you can develop a cash flow forecast. The other one is that assuming that as your company grows, that the whole team actually understands what's happening in the founder or in the owner's head. It's really important for us as leaders to keep communicating with our team of where we're taking the company and, the kind of culture that we want to build as we are scaling our company.
Look, with all the scale-up companies that you've advised, what's the most common mistake that businesses are making in scaling up?
There's a couple of things. I think one of the biggest one is that I think a lot of companies believe as they scale, they have to place all their bets on one idea or on one market. Another good thing is too that people really need a good sounding board. They need a nice board of advice around them with some different kind of viewpoints coming in to challenge the ideas, and knowing that the intention of the advice is from a good place, and then that will hopefully build out stronger solutions for the market.
And where can businesses go to get help or find resources about scaling up with success?
Great place to go is obviously your Scaling Up coach. They're really a rich source of information. We live and breathe scaling up every day across all industries and across all sizes. I think it's really important too to surround yourself with other entrepreneurs who are perhaps going through the same journey you're going through now, and in non-competing industries, but you can walk the path with them together and grow. Accountants are a great source of information too.
Anna Samios, great to get all that information and advice. Really appreciate your time.
Absolute pleasure.
Up next, hitting the right notes, how flexible finance can help your business scale with success. And during the break, head to the Small Business First website to sign up your business or check out some of the others offering great deals.
I'm Karen Lindsay from Little White Goat Cheese. I've created a world-first freeze-dried goat feta. It will happily live in your pantry for 18 months. Easily posted and has hundreds of uses. Look forward to chatting soon. See ya.
Hi, I'm Michael Haynes. I work with service-based small and medium businesses to acquire those larger business clients that they're seeking. So go to my website, listeninnovategrow.com, where you can get your free playbook, Deciphering the Business Buyer, which will get you on your way to getting those next larger business clients.
Another terrific business there from the Small Business First directory, where you can go and find thousands of other small businesses in your area to support. You're watching a special series of Kochie's Business Builders, where we're putting small business first. To Melbourne now, where a classical guitar maker that uses sustainable timbers keeps hitting the right sort of notes.
Hi, I'm Miles Jackson, CEO of Kochie Guitars. The business all started when a group of investors got together and wanted to make a perfect guitar for plugging in and playing live. So people like Jack Johnson use our guitars, many artists use our guitars. We make guitars in Australia, which is quite difficult, and we have a lot of IP on our pickup. So when we plug it in, it's a better pickup, a better sound than anyone else's on the planet. We build our guitar differently. It's a carved top. We use sustainable timbers. This guitar, for example, is from Morong Park in Toorak. It's an urban recovery timber, ultimate in sustainability. We have a Spanish heel neck, which is a different sound to other people's guitars. So there's many other differences as well. What we wanted to do is focus on the plugged-in sound. So when you're on a stage, you're in front of 30,000 people, what it sounds like acoustically doesn't really matter. What you want to do is to sound like a real acoustic guitar. You want it to sound like it does in your lounge room, but to 30,000 people. That's what we achieved.
Oh, what a fantastic business to be in, where you can get to listen to music like that all day. Got to admit, I haven't got a musical bone in my body, but I do know a thing or two about small businesses and scaling up, though, which is what Miles was a bit unsure about when it came time for his business to expand. So instead of just taking a blind leap of faith, Miles got in touch with ScotPack to get some advice. And ScotPack Chief Executive Peter Langham joins me now in the studio to share some of that great advice. Peter, good to see you.
Thank you, David.
When you talk to a small business owner about scaling up, what do you talk to them about first?
They come to us when they're looking for money, but until you really understand where they want to go with the business, what they want to achieve, you can't put the right type of funding in place. Too many people go, I want the easiest form of finance or the quickest form of finance. It's not a short-term fix. You know, Miles has been with us for over 10 years. A lot of our clients have been with us for over 20 years. So it's a partnership. That's what we're looking to create.
In any sort of financing, you need flexibility as part of it. Unfortunately, so many small business financing products are very rigid. How do you approach that as a small business owner?
Non-bank funders like ScotPack, you know, we specialise in asset-based lending. So we're not lending against the family home and risking the family home. We're lending against the business. If the business is growing, the assets within the business tend to grow as well, so we can grow with it. We want to lend more money to our clients. In some of our products, if a client says, I need to increase my facility, we can do that within hours because we know the value of the assets has increased. We know the client intimately. You need that flexibility to move to really quickly. If you're borrowing money against the home, someone's got to go get the house revalued. And I've seen it in the past where they've revalued the house and the bank said, well, actually, the house value's gone down. We're going to reduce your facility, not increase it. Yeah. So that can be very dangerous.
What's sort of a checklist you should go through in terms of finding the right partner for the financing?
I still believe in personalities and dealing with the people you want to deal with. Yeah. Do they really understand me? Do they take the time to understand our business? At ScotPack, part of our credit submission says, tell me why they started this business, what they want to achieve. So they ask them what security they require, how quickly they can move on things, maybe run some scenarios through them and say, how would you respond to these things?
What are the biggest mistakes when we apply for financing?
I would say move too quickly, jumping to a solution as opposed to the right solution.
So getting the first available money rather than the right money?
Yes. Talk to your accountant, talk to people you know, talk to other people who've used different finance, ask for references. People like Miles will tell you what we've done for them and how we've helped them achieve what they want to achieve.
Peter Langham, thanks for joining us.
No, pleasure, thank you.
Peter Langham there from ScotPack sharing some great advice on how to get the right finance to scale your business. After the break, your questions answered. Our expert guests share their top tips on building a dominant brand.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Jana, CEO of the HR Experts International. We offer highly pragmatic, customised HR consulting, coaching and training solutions. And we have achieved outstanding results working with our clients who wanted to transform, scale or grow their business, develop their leadership capability, or improve their culture, engagement, performance and bottom line.
Welcome back to Kochie's Business Builders, where we're putting small business first. Now, today we're talking about scaling up with success. And joining us in the studio is Alex Burke, the Chief Executive of Education Perfect, and Aussie fitness guru and entrepreneur Luke Guanlau. How are you, gentlemen? Welcome to the program.
Yeah, good day. Thanks for having us.
Luke, tell us about your scale-up story. You started with, what, one Anytime Fitness franchise. You've got 260 across... How many countries? 8 countries?
8 countries now in Asia.
We
started with one in Western Sydney 10 years ago, and fast forward to today, we've got about 260 under a franchising model.
Yep.
And out of those 260, we co-own and manage 80.
Wow. What's been the secret to success in scaling?
I think there's got to be a certain level of drive and tenacity as an entrepreneur you've got to have inherently to kind of want to go that hard over a short period of time. In addition to that, I think having the right framework in place. So having a really good understanding of each of the functions of your business to understand how to kind of build it, grow it, and then scale it as well.
Alex, you're in the edutech area. It's great, unbelievable business. 1.2 million students, 4,000 schools, 80 countries. They're phenomenal figures.
Yeah,
Tell us how you cope with growth.
Yeah, well, we've been running now for 12 years. So we've grown organically over time. We started in New Zealand, and our first market was actually opening up into Australia. And then really the international story started for us probably a couple of years ago. And then we've been opening up, and I guess, you know, we built technology that's for teachers in classroom. It's become even more relevant now because the technology can also be used for distant learning.
Yeah.
And with COVID, the interest of how to use technology in that industry is becoming more prevalent.
They're 2 great success stories. While you're here, let's pick your brains, put some questions from our viewers to you. Alex, first to you, Lisa from Noosa asks, can I use my current business model just on a larger scale, or do I need to refine it better to suit growth?
You do need to refine. So actually for us, our Australia-New Zealand business, that's now a $30 million business, and that's growing at a 40% rate. And you need a certain level of, I guess, kind of governance and support for that type of business. So in a smaller organisation, you need more generalists because you need people to have more strings to their bow, be more adaptive in those situations. As you get to a larger organisation, you need very specific skill sets.
Good advice. Luke, Ross from Newcastle asks, if I scale my business, will my core customer change? If so, how do I get to know the new ones?
I think in any small business, you'll always have a nice foundation set of members or customers or clients. I don't believe they'll ever change. And when you do scale, you have additional, I guess, categories, different kind of socioeconomic or demographic types of people that come on board in addition.
Alex Mandy from Adelaide says, how important is it to have finance in place prior to planning the scaling up process? It's all about the money.
Yeah, well, clearly money is important, but I think in some respects it's more your cash flow and how you manage it, because you don't necessarily need a lot of money, just as long as you can manage your cash flow more effectively.
Cash flow is king once again. Luke Shamar from Brisbane says, I've got 2 gyms. You're cheeky, Shamar, getting it from your biggest competitor. But I'm keen to build up my portfolio. How long will it take me to scale up to 10?
The quickest answer is it depends. And a few of those kind of conditions around it depends are as follows. So I think it depends on your funding. So I think if you've got enough savings, you've got enough cash flow, to Alex's point, there's an ability to cash flow finance further development. So without the right people, mimicking what you've done over the course of your first 2, it's going to be very hard to scale. Make sure you take the time to draft your SOPs, your processes, your procedures end to end.
That's great advice. Alex Paul from Daintree asks, how effective is the data from my CRM in helping to work out the best way to scale and the best plan?
I think for growth, it's really important that you have kind of a quality and a care factor in your CRM, because ultimately, if you're building, you're building a customer and you've got those connections and interactions with a customer, as you scale out and you bring more people on board, they need that history and context to come on.
That's fabulous. Luke and Alex, thank you for joining us. Well, that almost wraps up the last episode of our Small Business First series, but we are continuing our campaign on the digital front. So make sure you keep checking in on the website for great deals and businesses in your local area to support. And we still have one more digital booster bundle from Yellow to give away to our Small Business First community. Thanks everyone for your company and support over the last couple of months. But before we sign off, here's a message for all small businesses from the New South Wales Government.
Thanks, Kochie. Containing the COVID-19 virus will help businesses reopen and get back to work. We all need to stay safe, and you should have a COVID-safe plan in place for your business to ensure the health of your staff and customers. And by registering your business as COVID-safe and doing the COVID-safe check, you can reassure customers that their health and safety is your priority. You will also stand out from the crowd by using the COVID-safe check collateral in your window. Everyone has a role to play in making our workplaces COVID safe. Visit nsw.gov.au to make your workplace safe.
Thanks again to our partners Canva, Google, MYOB, Officeworks, Salesforce, Scottish Pacific and Yellow.